What it do, YouTube? Marco 5 the ball 5, and today I have a couple of replays. I was using this team right here. Now it's choice ban Golisopod. The only problem is that it's choice ban Golisopod without hazards removal, and I'm usually an advocate for HDB on pretty much every Pokemon that can, unless, of course, what am I trying to say? HDB on pretty much everything that is weak to rocks, unless there's another item, of course. Like Sigilif with Sash and Magic Guard. Sigilif has Magic Guard, so you have the luxury, but not everything does, you know? But most things that are weak to rocks, not all, but most of them, HDB. So Golisopod, CB, but this team has no removal, which is really bad. I could have Defog on Sigilif, which should work. It's Sash, Sigilif, Magic Guard, got the Thunder Wave. I could probably run it over Air Slash, because I don't need a ton of Air Slash, but I'll probably figure that out. I have Spikes though, so maybe I don't want Defog necessarily. I have Copper, Jaw, AV, enough speed for like base 40s, you know, and Gastrodon, who's base 39, but still, you know, it's base 40s, but then it's a little bit more speed after that. You know, Gastrodon's really the only one I can think of around that tier. Rhyperior is, but Rhyperior is not in the tier anymore. It rose up. Garbodor with Spikes, Toxic. Not Toxic Spike, just Toxic, and then regular Spikes and Stomping Tantrum, Gunk Shot, some good stuff there, physically defensive. Choice Band Decidueye, except that I think is the absolute truth. You got Poltergeist, which is a crazy move. He has no Ghost Resist, for example. You can U-turn around, pivot around. Leaf Blade's good, especially when you get Grass Torrent, then it's really good. And then Shadow Sneak for some priority. So a lot of priority between Golisopod, who has Aqua Jet, Sucker Punch, and First Impression. It's 3 priority moves for you right there. And then Decidueye with the Shadow Sneak. And then you have Diancie with Rocks. Body Press is kind of cool. I'm not physically defensive. I'm Spadef, so, you know, Body Press doesn't do much immediately, but you manage to get a boost with the, what's it called, Diamond Storm? And you could be trouble. So, got a Sigilif versus Tyrantrum, the lead match to start us off, and I missed Thunder Wave immediately. And that was basically my main plan for Tyrantrum, because it was forcing the issue, but I pretty much stopped it from doing that with that Thunder Wave. But of course I had to miss, and it's just me, or Sigilif misses a lot. Like, you know, Heat Wave is 90, Thunder Wave is 90, Air Slash is 95, and they all just miss a lot. I've missed all those moves at least twice. It's just some shit. And you'll see even more Thunder Wave misses later on in the video, don't even worry. So I go to Decidueye. I'm just going to U-turn because he has an Arcanine, so I figured, oh, actually I have Poltergeist, never mind, because I figured it's going to do a lot, even though he has Intimidate, and he's probably defensive. He's just going to Morning Sun it off so I can go to Diancie and I can get my rocks. Tyrantrum should be paralyzed, though, and that would have helped, because it would have meant what am I trying to say? Would have meant Decidueye is for sure faster, Golisopod would be faster, and a lot. Stuff like that. So he misses the Toxic, go for Liquidation, because I don't really have to First Impression, because I'm faster than Bronzong, but it lets Tyrantrum back in. It should be paralyzed, and as a result, slower than Golisopod, but of course, you know, you can't have nice things. And I don't know if he's Jolly or Adamant yet, so I just go to Golisopod. I don't have Emergency Exit yet, so I can just hit this First Impression. Unfortunately, he goes to Sylveon, which is a Bug Resist serviceable. I go to Copper or Jaw because it walls this, it's on the team for mons like this. Can't really do much to it, and it can hit back. He goes for Protect here, I Earthquake, because I thought Arcanine was coming out, so I like, alright, cool. I probably should have just Earthquaked again, but I decided to Heavy Slam for whatever reason, because I knew even though he just saw Earthquake, he was still going to go Arcanine, because he could just live it and then just Morning Sun, but now he's not as pressured to Morning Sun, so I go to Diancie and probably get burned. No, he just teleports into Tyrantrum, but should be paralyzed, but, you know, I just go to Golisopod, and I figured, oh wait, I'm going to Emergency Exit into Copper or Jaw, because I didn't really gain anything from doing that, but he missed Head Smash. Deserved, because this thing should be paralyzed. He goes to Arcanine now, and I think I Earthquake this time. Yeah, I do. Not bad, not bad. So I know he's forced to Morning Sun, so I figured I'm just going to go Golisopod. He's going to Sun, and then I'm going to Aqua Jet to get some chip, and then I'm going to go to Decidueye, and I'm going to be faster because I'm Jolly Decidueye. So I go to Decidueye, I get off my Poltergeist, Arcanine's out of here. Attack with his HDB because every Arcanine ever should be holding that item. He goes to Sylveon, this is going to die too. Protect wouldn't save him because I'm CB, and he doesn't even opt to do that. I go to Tyrant. He goes to Tyrantrum. I don't realize that he's Jolly at this point yet, So I just go to Diancie. I'm like, okay, shit. Diancie obviously dies. This mon's broken. It needs to be banned. Like, please ban Tyrantrum. So I go back to it. I still don't realize that he's adamant yet, which means my Decidueye is fast. So I just sneak. It doesn't do enough. He goes to, or he Volt Switches here, honestly. Yeah. He Volt Switches. And it goes back to Tyrantrum. Of course, he loses nothing by clicking Head Smash again, because Copper Jaw is just going to die, because Tyrantrum's broken and needs to be removed from the tier ASAP. So I basically had to lock myself in the Poltergeist. I had to throw up the prayer that he wasn't jolly, and he wasn't. So, that's gone. So I had to hit Poltergeist for Slowbro, and he has to not get Quick Claw if he has that, which he probably doesn't, because Regenerator is usually better anyway. And it dies. Crit did not matter. If that even was a crit, I didn't see it. He goes for Leaf Storm. It does a lot, but I have the Poltergeist, and he's not itemless, so that will be the game. He's attacked by his Choice Scarf, and Decidueye just clutching up right there, saving the game, and that'll be game 1. And on to the next one. Same team. I've been switching around alts because I've been trying to figure out different variants of what other mons could work on this type of team. Like I had Wheezing in the Garbodor slot with neutralizing gas, even though I do always prefer Levitate. I usually always do, and that Wheezing games that I just played even solidified my preference of Levitate over neutralizing gas, because I felt like Garbodor was just better for this team. It didn't have the option Levitate, but it does. It's faster, it has a little bit more offensive presence than a Wheezing. It's faster, like I just said. It has regular spikes and stuff like that. It provided more utility for a team like this, I felt, so I kept regular Garbodor on. So that's basically what happens. Celebi, I can't really lose to Celebi because I have First Impression and U-Turn and Sash, Sigilif, and stuff like that, so it's going to be hard for me to lose to Celebi. But it's his rocker, by the way, because he doesn't have another one. Starmie is going to be annoying, but I have super effective priority all over the place, and I have a Sash, Sigilif, and I have Copper Jaw, which should definitely take some hits, provided he's offensive, so we're going to get into this. We got Arcanine versus Diancie to start us off. I blocked the Intimidate, which is cool, but it doesn't really mean anything, because he's just going to teleport, because I'm only getting a Roxy. Sure, we'll start rolling out Specs Diancie and just Power Gem, and just Earth Power, and just body people, so Surf doesn't do anything that Decidueye has planned. Ice Beam's a horrible play because potentially sack this, but he gets the freeze, gets rewarded, reaps the reward for that. He could have gone back to Arcanine, got a resist off a move, but it doesn't even matter if you're just going to get lucky. So that's one mon that I could have beaten Starmie with out of the picture. Something that could have just been an instant Ocon. Galar Slowbro prevented that from doing anything. And it's just gone. He goes hard Arcanine on the Glizzapod on the presumed impression, because I mean, it was kind of limited to what I could do because my Decidueye just got hacked out of the game. But I saw right through that just for liquidation. I go to Garbodor here because I figured, okay, Pangoro is also kind of broken. It's not like Tyrantrum broken. Tyrantrum's broken, but Pangoro is just really strong. So I go to that just to get the helmet chip. He goes hard Slowbro, which with the set he is, I don't understand why you'd go hard Slowbro with this set. I really don't. Like, he goes for Belly Drum. I figured I probably should have went back to Garbodor just to let this, what am I trying to say? I could have went back to Garbodor so that he didn't Drain Punch, get health back. By the way, I had a Decidueye to Shadow Sneak. I could have switched into the presumed Drain Punch and then Shadow Sneak all my health back. Too bad it got frozen. I mean, it got frozen. I mean, I figured he's just gonna either Drain Punch or Poison Jab or some shit, so I'm just gonna go to Slowbro and let him kill himself with Aftermath and Helmet so that he can't actually beat me. He gets the Quick Draw this time instead of the other one. It doesn't even matter, but he's still going to die. I had a Glizzapod with First Impression, even if this somehow didn't kill anyway, so there was no way I was losing to that. I just go to the aforementioned Glizzapod, and Porygon 2 traces emergency exit. Porygon 2 is slower than me because I'm max speed, so I just, knock it into emergency exit range. He's forced to switch. He has Celebi, but he goes to Pangoro. I mean, I guess he didn't know I was CB just yet, but even then, I guess. I probably could have went to Diancie or let him CC me, because if I let him CC, then I probably would have gotten emergency exited out, and that could have been something, but I just do this, and I ended up killing him with Diancie anyway. So, it all worked out in the end. Diancie eating it up. Luckily, nothing happened there. I mean, yeah, that's basically what happened. So we'll go to Glizzapod, and again, if I eat this Giga Drain, I have to First Impression and get a kill here, but that doesn't happen. I get it exited out. He's Life Orb, which means is he Rock Celebi? He has to be, because that's his only rocker, so I don't really have another play. He just Giga Drains, gets the Life Orb, yeah, and now all I have to do is hope Glizzapod can clutch up one last time. He goes to Porygon 2, and really, I can only click Sucker, because I can't Liquidation, because he has 2 resists to it. And I can't first impression, because if I first impression, you know, he's dead, and Aqua Jet is just not gonna help me either. I'm impression Aqua Jet Sucker Liquidation, maybe like Leech Life. I could have done something, but maybe not, because I would have been slower than everything, and it wouldn't have helped me against sell it like Sucker Punch just did. And then I guess he doesn't have like no recover, or like Toxic or something. Like, he's not Toxic because he's offensive, but I guess he doesn't have recover on his Storm because he just dies. And that'll be the game. Galizapod literally locked itself into Sucker Punch to clutch up and win that. I guess he didn't think I was locked into Sucker Punch when I clicked Sucker Punch. And I guess he didn't get the memo of me being locked into Sucker Punch when I had to kill his Porygon 2 with Sucker Punch, or he just didn't have any maneuver on it around it with his Celebi. Rock Celebi would have been a huge help to him, because then it would have helped him beat Gliscopod because of the Rock's damage, but that's going to be game 2. And to end us off here, this battle is just frustration. Again, I'm switching between all trying to figure out what combination of mons works best, and I figure the original is just the one that ends up doing the most work for me, because once again, like the replays, like I feel like I've played my best games with this team with just the original version of this team, and this battle is no different, because here is the original version of that team again. So I'm gonna switch that. You know, it's the same kind of thing. They have the new sprites now, Articuno Galar, and this battle is actually just pure frustration, because I actually played this guy one time on, because I was switching between also trying to, you know, figure out a team. I'm like, okay, I battled again. He got 2 goddamn freezes, and it was the most bullshit shit ever. He had a Claydol. He was switching. He's going hard Articuno Galar on a Garbodor on a team that has Claydol. You have a Claydol, and you're going hard Articuno Galar on a Garbodor. You have Claydol. You have another Psychic type that resists poison, has 2 super effective stabs, can spin all it wants on Garbodor. Well, I mean, you can't really, because you're going to take the chip damage from helmet, but you can spin, and then after you spin, you're always faster, and you have 2 super effective stabs. You can get rocks up. It can't touch you with anything. They're not running Seed Bomb. They're not running Payback. And he goes Articuno Galar, the one that's neutral to Gunk Shot. Worse if it gets poison. I mean, Claydol's pretty bad. I mean, they're both weak to poison, like, you know, Toxic, but Articuno Galar is fucked, because then you can't do shit. You know, he's just, why? And he froze my Copper Jaw with that stupid Psychic type move, that stupid ass, I can't even name it off the rip, so I had to go Diancie, and he froze that shit too, and it was a whole mess. He hacks the fucking living shit out of me, so this battle was like, okay, this is pure frustration. I didn't do that shit. If you remember that that body bag video from a few years ago, when I won on the other alt, found the same dude, it's not the same kind of deal. I was just playing, because I was testing variants of this team, and it was like long hours of ladder, and I'm never doing it again. So we got Basculin and Blue versus Diancie to lead. The worst thing for me, so I had to go Garbodor on the flip turn, just because I get a little chip. So that's cool. He goes to Articuno Galar. I mean, this makes sense, because it's, you know, it's off of flip turn. He hard switches it into it, and it got him fucked up. Freeze and Glare. I hate that move so much. It's only a 10% freeze, but it felt like a trillion, because he got 2 of them bangs. So I got that freeze from earlier in this video that you guys just saw, and I got frozen. I played a mono ice, my Diancie got frozen. So yeah, a lot of freeze today. So I hate Pokemon. I mean, we all know this. It's a great game. He teleports. He stayed on the U-turn. Good play, but now his Claydol is fucked. I could have stayed in with Gliscopod Liquidation if I knew he was going to click Thunder Wave. I don't know. Again, he has a Claydol, and I'm just going to Toxic, because I knew he was going to do that, because he just got 2 freezes. He needed those 2 freezes, and I have Copper Jaw. I'm just going to go to Copper Jaw. He goes to Roserade, but Copper walls this too, because no more hidden power. The only fear was probably Sleep Powder. He got 1 Spike. Hazards are pretty big weakness for this team, because they don't have removal and, you know, stuff like that. I just go to Garbodor. I figure, alright, Garbodor's just going to die here, and he's going to take Aftermath and Helmet. And that's really all I can do to beat this. Now he's in range of Shadow Sneak, it's a range of Impression. I'm just going to go to Gliscopod for the aforementioned Impression. I probably could have clicked Liquidation, but he goes to Claydol and Saxy, so that's cool. I think he goes to, what, Articuno after this? Maybe Basculin. He goes back to Basculin. I figure he might, flip turn? Diancie's going to eat that, and then he's going to do some shit. But he just Liquidation, so that was a solid play on his part. That was like the best play he made in, like, throughout the entirety of this shit. So, go back to CB Sigil. I just U-turn. I didn't think he would actually stay in, but works for me, because that means that one's off my screen. He goes to Tauros, and Sigilif just needs to do one thing here paralyzes Tauros, let the rest of the mods do the work. And I missed the T-Wave. Sigilith, you had one job, Sigilith. Sigilith, you had one occupation, one thing that you were supposed to do. Gliscod shouldn't have to come out now. He has a Silverlay Fairy to resist the first impression, and I shouldn't have to do that. Tauros should be paralyzed. Gliscod should just liquidation because he has no switch in liquidation anymore. I should be able to liquidation. Decidueye should be faster with a Leaf Blade or a U-turn, something like that. And I can't do that because I can't hit any move to save my life. Sigilith really sold me short today. It really, I might just replace it with Kadabra just because it was missing, even though I'd be using the same moves anyway. So he goes for Earthquake, I go to Sid, he takes the life orb damage. I actually didn't know that first impression would do 90 to Tauros at the moment, because that's really the only hope. Just hope that first impression does 90, because if he goes Articuno, he loses, because then I just switch out and then first impression again. And that's exactly what happens. I'm like, yeah, boy, that's right, boy. Even through the T-Wave miss, and I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not saying anything, but I'm obviously just thinking this is just the dialogue, the internal dialogue's like, yeah, that's right, boy. No double freeze today. No double freeze this time, huh? No double freeze? Nah. Right? Nope. No double freeze? No? No? No double freeze? You're not freezing Copper? You're not freezing Diancie? No? 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 Oh, and you let it get toxic? All I had to do was... I mean, I guess I still honestly could have lost, because he's sub CN. I could have lost because he goes Articuno. No, actually, no, I couldn't have. If he took too long to set up, I couldn't have lost, because he's toxic. But I'm saying if he goes Articuno, freezes me again, and tries to do the whole setup thing, I mean, Copper or Jaw has to thaw out. And basically, all I have to do is get him not behind sub for Gliscod to come back in. It doesn't matter, because he forfeited, because he's not going to rely on that freeze chance again. So that's going to be the end of the video today. Gliscod really clutching up today. I don't want to say I didn't believe in Gliscod, but when Gliscod first came out, I was like, okay. Emergency X is the worst ability in the game. I honestly thought that. And I figured it does have some utility, you know, now that I'm playing Gliscod. I mean, heavy duty boots would be amazing, so maybe I'll make an HDB Gliscod. I might replace Sucker if I do that, but Sucker Punch is really good, so maybe I don't know. Some things I had to come to. Some decisions I had to make if I want to keep Gliscod on the team, because that was what it was built around. You know, Gliscod, and then, you know, Decidueye. Sigilith was a great partner. Copper, a Jaw, some defensive utility from the other mons. Spike Stack as well. That's, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, going on a tangent. But that's going to be the video for today. Thank you for watching. Peace.